Oh, okay. Let's check it. So today I'll be watching Sorry, it's my brother. Anyway, I'm gonna be watching this video on 50 new Minecraft manhunt plays under 10 minutes. See if it's good.
We all know and love Dream's Minecraft Manhunt with its amazing clutches, plays, and traps. Well, what if I told you there were more Manhunt plays? Because today, I'll be showing you 55 Manhunt plays that I made in under 10 minutes. Don't forget to like and subscribe and watch to the end, because that's where the best trap is. But anyway, let's get started. If you place dripstone above the end portal, then break it, it will go through the end portal and kill the hunters in the end, a bit like Dream's TNT trap. On the end platform, if you build up with 7 signs, place a piece of sand, place a rail, and then a TNT minecart, when the hunter goes into the end, the signs will despawn and the TNT minecart will fall and blow up. For an even better trap, on the end platform, if you build up with 3 blocks, break the bottom 2 blocks, spam a bunch of arrows on the top block, and then place an end crystal underneath the block, when the hunter spawns in the end, the blocks will despawn, the arrows will fall on the end crystal, and the hunters will blow up. You may have seen in Dream's Manhunt that you can actually bone meal a mushroom to break the end portal. Well, you can actually make a trap with this mechanism. If you mushroom all 4 sides of the end portal, only revealing this one singular end portal block, you can then set up another mushroom by that singular end portal block, and then place a dispenser filled with bone meal. Then, if you make this massive repeater circuit leading into a redstone clock leading into the dispenser, once you flick the lever and enter the end, the mushroom will block up the singular end portal frame and the hunters won't be able to enter. In the nether, over a lava pool, if you bridge over it using regular blocks, and then beside the blocks you place a piece of string, then you break the existing block bridge, you can then jump over the string using boats, leaving a retractable bridge, a bit like Dream's lava boat clutch, and if the hunters try to come along placing blocks on the string, you can insta-mine the string and they'll fall into the lava. You can also place boats on weeping vines and twisted vines to create a retractable bridge. If you're being chased by hunters in a crimson forest, just jump into some weeping vines to clutch, and then left click with blocks. The blocks will automatically place behind you, so when the hunters clutch, they'll die. Like Dream's gas clutch, if you put a boat on top of a strider, you can take a ride over a lava pool. In a strip mine, place 4 torches on the wall and then 4 torches on the floor. Then dig a big hole above the torches. Above the torches, fill the hole in with gravel, leaving the top layer empty. And in that top layer, place 4 anvils. Then when you're running from the hunters, you can insta-mine the torches and the anvils will fall on their head. Or if you're too lazy to get anvils, you can just remove the torches on the floor and then remove the anvils, so when you're running you can break the torches and create a blockade. Mine out a small strip mine and then add a dip like this, and where the dip is, add a small hole. Afterwards, extend the strip mine forward, and in that small dip, add obsidian, then add an end crystal. Now when the hunters are chasing you in the strip mine and they don't time their jump correctly, they'll fall into the hole, and they won't be able to do anything, because if they try to break any blocks, they'll blow up the crystal. In the overworld, down at bedrock level, remove a 3x3 area of bedrock using the bedrock removal tactic. Then place a block and then a fence. Get a lead, put it onto a chicken, and then put it onto the fence, and then break the block underneath the chicken so it's in the void. Then in all 4 corners of the holes, place slabs. Then in the gaps between the slabs, place fences above them. Afterwards, place boats in each 4 of the slabs, and then push the boats right into the fences. Break the slabs so the boats will fall onto the chicken and create a little platform in the void. Now lure the hunters down to here, and then stand in the void platform. They might just be tempted to come in and hit you, and if they do, you can just ender pearl out and then break the platform and they'll die. If you ever get silk touch in a Minecraft manhunt, definitely mine redstone ore, and once you have it, place a redstone ore in the ground and then place a snow layer on top. Underneath the redstone ore, place an observer and then a block, and then underneath that block place redstone dust, and then 10 blocks across place 10 more redstone dust, leading into an activator rail filled with minecart TNT. Then when hunters walk over the piece of snow, they won't realize that a nuke is about to blow up and kill them. While we're in the snowy biome, dig a massive hole down. At the bottom of that hole, replace the floor with crafting tables. Then with scaffolding, build right up to the top and fill the top with snow layers. When the hunters run above you, you can break the scaffolding and they'll fall into the pit. If you're too lazy to dig that massive hole, just place dripstone at the bottom of a smaller hole. Then fill the top with powdered snow, so when the hunters run over the snow, they'll fall through and die on the tripstone. On the topic of powdered snow, if you wear leather boots, you can actually stand on it, meaning you can fly up with powdered snow like this. Or maybe you could clutch with powdered snow and then replace it with a regular snow block, so the hunters will get confused and die. You can use boats on lava streams to tower up them, and you can use boats to break your fall falling down them. If it's the beginning of the manhunt and you can't gather blocks because the hunters will kill you, you can just insta-mine flowers, because then if you jump into water, you can actually block the water with flowers. And if you're in deeper water, you can actually use lily pads to do the same thing, as they'll place it on top of the water. And boats also do the same thing if you don't have lily pads. If you lure the hunters underwater, you can actually place sand on top of TNT to blow them up under the water. If you're on a mountain, pretend to fall off and clutch with TNT, and then the hunters might be tempted to jump on the TNT, and if they do, you can light it and they'll fall. Underground, mine out 2 strip strip mines like this. Then in the bottom strip mine, break out the floor, place soul sand, and then place water to make a bubble column. Fill the bubble column with instant harm arrows if you're in Bedrock, or regular arrows if you're in Java. Then replace the floor above the bubble column with dirt. Then when the hunters are in the top strip mine, break the dirt blocks so they'll fall into the bubble column and die from the arrows. You can also make a big bubble column in a strip mine and then fill it with a bunch of instant harm or regular arrows. Then besides the column, dig one block down, place a sign, and then place a bunch of gravel on top of the sign. Underneath the sign, place a torch. Then when the hunters are chasing you in the strip mine, you can break the block with the sign so the gravel will fall, and then you can hit the hunters into the bubble column so they'll instantly die. In the nether, you can use vines as a retractable bridge over lava. In a village house, directly next to the door, mine a hole, then place a honey block, a cauldron, then lava. Then if you lure the hunters into the village house and they don't time their jump, they'll fall into the lava-filled cauldron and die, and they won't be able to jump out or use water. If you jump into a ravine filled with water, place a dirt block and then grow a sapling using bone meal. It will block the water so when the hunters jump in, they'll die. If you're being chased, just pretend to build up with chests and then drop down. Throw an ender pearl at the bottom of the chest and then you'll phase into it, becoming invisible. To save you time in the end, build a TNT duplicator above the ender dragon, so while you run, the ender dragon's being killed automatically. Although this may take some effort, spawning a wither in a manhunt would be an OP way to kill the hunters. For a temporary path over lava, you can use twisted vines, rails, and torches as they'll all burn behind you. You can fishing rod things like ghast fireballs, TNT minecarts, and TNT to blow hunters up on towers. On the topic of TNT minecarts, dig a hole on the side of a hill like this. Then place a rail and a bunch of TNT minecarts. Attach the TNT minecarts to your fishing rod, so when you run over the hill and pull the fishing rod, the whole thing will explode. If you set yourself on fire, your jump length and height is increased. If the hunters are on your tail, you can light fireworks on doorways, which will explode them behind you. When you're by a ravine, you can jump over it, place carpet, and then blocks directly on top of it, blocking the hunters off. You can also do the same by placing ladders in front of you, then placing blocks on the ladders, placing them behind you. When you enter the end, simply splash invisibility potions on yourself, so when the hunters enter the end, you can hit them off without them knowing. When you build your nether portal, build super high directly above it. Then build another nether portal high in the sky. Next, build this little platform next to the sky high nether portal. When you enter back from the nether, you'll teleport in that nether portal really high in the sky, so you can jump in the cage, and while your hunters come through, you can knock them off the nether portal. In a spruce biome, under some leaves, mine a 3x3 pit. Then at the bottom of the pit, fill it with sweet berries. Extend the pit by 2, then add a barrier of blocks, then slabs. While you're being chased, hold sweet berries in your left hand and a sword in your right hand, and once you approach the leaves, use shears so the hunters fall in the pit. They won't be able to jump out of the pit while you slay them, and if they break any of the sweet berry bush, you can just spam left click and new sweet berry bushes will be placed. Using just 2 TNT, you can build a simple TNT cannon, exploding anyone. If you ever manage to get a pig with a saddle, you can actually float down with it. If you switch between your carrot on a stick and an empty slot, you'll just float down big spaces. Lighting TNT and throwing an ender pearl above it will cause the ender pearl to go so much farther. Convince your hunters you're going to make a small base under a lava pool, then clog up that small part of the lava pool. Fill the underside of the clogged part with water, and then fill that water with kelp. Unclog the clogged part and then fill it with lava. Then when you're being chased, jump into the part of the lava where there's water so you won't burn, and then behind you break the kelp, so the waters turn to stone and the hunters will burn. A simple but effective trick is to use a camouflage skin, so the hunters won't be able to see you in like dark caves. In Minecraft Bedrock, if you shoot a bow beneath you, you can actually MLG with it, or you can fly with it. Also in Minecraft Bedrock, beside a mountain, if you place cobwebs, pistons, and then a bubble column beneath the cobwebs. Then above each of the cobwebs, tower up super high with sand. Next, attach all your pistons to a redstone line into a lever. Then break the bottom layer of sand so it falls into the cobweb. When you're running on the edge of the mountain, you can turn around and hit the hunter into the cobweb filled with sand. Then once you flick the lever, they'll be teleported thousands of blocks away and be damaged by fall damage. Dig a 3x2 hole into the ground. Then place a mushroom, and then beneath you place a block and then a slab. When the hunters approach you, bone meal the mushrooms so they get trapped and suffocate in the walls of the mushroom. Then inside the mushroom place cobwebs so they all get trapped. Once they're trapped, you can slay them with a sword. Well, there you have it. 55 manhunt plays in under 10 minutes, and Dream. If you do want to use any of these, just give me a little shout and I'll always be there. But anyway, don't forget,
these are ones that Dream could use. Anyway, bye guys.